Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump, Chuck Grassley, Ted Cruz, the entire Republican Party, according to the Washington Post, have found further text messages from Hunter and Joe to a company in another country, and then a $5 million transfer of money. The question is, what is Hunter and Joe, what are they selling? What is Hunter selling? What's the business model? So the highly educated, morally superior liberal Democrats know deep down inside that there are felonies here. There are no felonies with Trump because they've been waiting. Like when Trump was indicted twice, they had no clue what the special counsel was going to indict him on. Okay? You know exactly what Hunter could be indicted on pertaining to the laptop, the New York Post, the Washington Examiner reporting, the Daily Mail reporting. You know exactly. It is selling access to the United States government. You have known this 3 years ago when Twitter prevented you from learning about this. The New York Post broke the story and then they were promptly suspended. But what is it that Hunter and Joe are selling? What is Bill and Hillary, what are they selling? So you're supposed to believe that philanthropy and altruism, those are the reasons why hundreds of millions of dollars from people around the world, corporations, businesses, billionaires, countries, are just giving money, and then beneficial treatment takes place, and then you have at one point 20% of U.S. uranium capacity given to our mortal enemies, sold to our mortal enemies, and then every defense is, well, you can't prove this, you can't prove that. You couldn't prove anything with Trump. They literally had to fabricate a document called the Steele dossier, and still they found nothing. But they investigated him endlessly. They indicted him for classified data when Clinton had servers, with siphoning classified data onto servers, which is an impossibility from a cybersecurity perspective. It's not only highly illegal, but it's obviously, they made a mockery of President Obama made a mockery of classified data. He knew that his Secretary of State had private servers. Media doesn't care. The morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats don't care. Their mission is just to say, okay, Trump is worse. But Trump is not worse. Not even close to being as bad or as corrupt. In fact, it's interesting. You could make a case he's the least corrupt president of all time. The obsession over Trump is there in part to overshadow the actual felonies committed by Joe and Hunter, and definitely by Hillary with private servers. And I think Hillary Clinton will be a 24 nominee for the Democratic Party. I don't know how. I just think she will. And Democrats will vote for her. No problem. No problem at all. But what do they sell? What's the business model here? They get $5 million, text messages saying you better do this or else. And what's the business model? Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Trump, Chuck Grassley, Kevin McCarthy, Ted Cruz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Matt Gaetz, Anna Paulina Luna, all of these Republicans have now, Rand Paul, everybody has, Ron Johnson, they all have these text messages. Rudy Giuliani, a laptop exists with incriminating text messages showing that Joe lied about Hunter's business deals and knowing about it. Not only knowing, he lied about being front and center, the focal point. But what's the business model? Trump sells real estate, membership to golf courses. He owned part of The Apprentice, or made hundreds of millions from The Apprentice. What is Hunter and Joe selling? What do they sell? You'd have to be an imbecile to believe that all of these things take place, and they just take place without any felonies occurring. Okay? They have nothing on Trump. Trump, not even for a second of his life, will see a jail cell. Not so with Hunter and Joe, because when you have a Republican attorney general, they too can go after and get a special counsel. That special counsel is doing nothing, obviously. When they charged Hunter, they charged him for crimes that pale in comparison to what he was actually doing. Okay? According to Chuck Grassley and Ted Cruz, he was summarizing classified data to facilitate business deals. But the Washington Examiner has a long text message. You can read the article, go to the Washington Examiner now, and hit subscribe to this channel. To read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications, go to hagoodman.com, become a member. To the super thanks, thank you. To the to my new Patreons, thank you. IRS officials reveal new info on Joe's link to Hunter's deals in the most populous country in the world. Okay, you have an IRS official. You have also a Central Intelligence official. At a certain point, there will be a point of diminishing returns for loyalists within the U.S. government who cover up for the Bidens. This is obvious. It's obvious that the criminality... Look, if Trump had a laptop and servers, I would then say, yeah, he's gonna go to prison. I wouldn't say... I like, the cult is the Democratic Party. It's not the person who votes Trump. Okay? The person who does the unpopular thing for principle, like, I want a foreign policy that brings home Americans. I want an economic policy where we had record low poverty and record highs in household median income. It is a fact. There's zero rebuttal that Trump, his economic record was astounding, fantastic, amazing, and to be commended. His foreign policy was the most anti-war, if you want to say, well, it was anyway. He was the least militant. Much more so than Clinton or President Obama, definitely Biden. There's a reason you have a year-long invasion in Europe now. Okay? But the mentality where the person is obsessed, disowns friends and family. How many morally superior liberal Democrats do you know that ruined Thanksgiving, ruined holiday dinners, ruined barbecues because of yelling and ranting about politics? How many times have you heard the morally superior at the dinner table, the wonderful Democrat, just ruin a dinner because they can't control themselves? It's like, it's a religion. So obviously they're not going to look at how many friends have you lost because of Trump? Just the sin of voting for Trump. The cult is on the Democratic Party side. I don't care. Do you think I've ever cared if my friends voted Biden? They cared if I talked about Trump. The absurd, twisted, warped cult is on that side. Not if you like a great economy, which is what we had. We have a higher poverty rate with Biden, a much higher poverty rate with mashed potato brains. And every demographic is making less money because real wages are down. Real wages were up under Trump. Anyway, the point is, if Trump had private servers, I would say, yeah, that's highly illegal. He had boxes as a former president with the power to declassify. Should he have had the classified data? No, he probably shouldn't have, but if he declassified it, it's not a problem. Then they say, well, he's on a recording. Well, where's the actual document that he's referring to? He's never going to serve even 1 second in jail. They don't have anything on him. Then you have Clinton, who was fined by the FEC, but Trump was not fined by the FEC. Clinton was fined by the FEC, as was the DNC for purchasing the Steele dossier. So after this presidency, Trump, if Trump or DeSantis eventually get into the Oval Office, I say DeSantis in 28, and in 24, Trump has a very good chance of regaining the Oval Office because the country is descending right now into, it's just the economy. We're going into another recession, and you look at foreign policy, it's a catastrophe. Trump has a very, very, very good chance of regaining the Oval Office. The Attorney General in Trump's new administration won't be William Barr. It'll be a person that indicts Hunter and Joe. The Pandora's box has been opened. The difference being, when they indict Trump, he actually didn't commit a crime. None of the things that he's accused of are actual crimes. They indict him, you can indict a ham sandwich. You have felonies with Hunter. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe.